Officially start.
Ew, I'm nervous.
I'm sorry. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Ashley.
I'm Charlie.
And this is The Gift of Gab.
Hey, thank you for coming back and spending time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while for sure. So thank you guys for patiently and impatiently waiting. You know, we just had to get some stuff together. So yeah, so I'm excited.
I am too. And I feel this episode really is just going to be about, I know we kind of did this on our last episode when we kind of took a break, but where we've been, what we've been doing, and
we did that, didn't we?
We did, but that's okay because we took an even longer break this time. So I feel like we're back for real this time.
Yeah.
And we've been kind of doing a lot and been through a lot, and obviously what's going on now, it's been a lot. And so I think that, I don't know, I think we're back for good this time, and I don't know, I'm excited to kind of see what we've both been doing, because we haven't seen each other that much.
I think we've seen each other like
3-4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say once. I'm like, it's been forever.
Yeah, like since I think in this new year we've seen each other once.
Yeah,
that's what I can think of off the top of my head, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think we were gonna plan something actually after you came back from your tour, and then this happened. So it was like we never got to it.
And it's different for us this time too. And I know that none of you can see it, but like we're remote right now. We're not face to face, not with microphones. And we were just talking
podcast social distancing.
Right. And we used to have little soft music playing in the background while we talk. Yeah. It was nice, and we don't have that this time. So a little different, but
definitely
still good.
Yes, I'm definitely excited because I thought, not that I thought it was never going to happen again. I just kind of missed it. You know, especially like we kind of used that time just to even just hang out, you know, or whatever. Like it was about the podcast, but it was about like us too. So I miss that, and I'm glad we're back.
So, I even feel like when we'd go out to eat, like it's like especially after we started the podcast, like we'd go out to eat, and I still felt like we were like podcasting. Yeah, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but like I feel like it was just like natural for us, kinda. I don't know. So
do you feel like that's all we do, like, and we should do other things or something?
I think we should do other things, but I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. Like,
I
just think that like we did other things before we did a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I don't know. But obviously with things are being the way that they are right now, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is like we're spending time again, and I don't know. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. Definitely. So what have you been up to? Where you been at?
Me? God, I don't, because we stopped this in, I think it was like August was the last one. End of August. So, I mean, right around that time, I won't like go super deep in everything that I talk about. But in that time, I mean, I just started grad school around that time. So I was just entering grad school, and that was its own thing. That was its own experience and its own, you know, like going in. I remember the first week being there, and I came home and I was like, this is not for me. I was like, I am not meant to be here. I'm not smart enough. I did not study hard enough. I felt like I was like, who let me in this place? And I don't know if you ever heard of imposter syndrome. And that was hitting really hard for me. So I really convinced myself, like I was like, I think I might need to drop out. But I kind of like, I was really into meditation at the time, and I still am, but I was really like trying to meditate on, okay, why am I feeling these things and that kind of thing, and reflecting on that. And obviously I stuck with it, and it was what I think a really good decision for me. I ended up doing really well that semester, not without some very hard struggles and very hard times, and some hard things to overcome. But I think it was for the best, and I ended up doing really well. And I only had one mental breakdown throughout the whole semester.
Very good. That's great.
Yeah. And it was actually the night before my last final. And I think it was just because we were also moving in that time frame. So I moved into a house with a few other people, with my partner still. But the night before my last final, we were still packing everything up. I felt very unprepared for my final, and I just was sobbing. I lost it. I was done. I don't know. I was just overreacting, I think, to all the stress. And obviously I got through that. And what else? That was that. I don't know how in depth it should go, but
as in depth as you want to.
I mean, the holidays were crazy at work, so that was just added stress.
Yeah. That's always a headache.
Right. I mean, backing up a little bit, I did get to go to an apple orchard this year, so that was fun. Or last year, I guess, with my nephews, and that was sweet. And that was one of my favorite moments of last year, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then, kind of the turn of the new year, I was living in my new house. Like I said, I have technically 4 roommates if you include my partner. So it was kind of like a new experience. I've never lived with that many people.
I was going to say, is it okay for me to ask how that's been going? How is it?
It's been really good. I mean, we all get along. We're all very similar in our mindsets. We're all kind of go with the flow kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's been great. I really don't have any complaints. And it's a big enough house or a big enough space where we can spread out and kind of do our own things and not really, if that's what you want to do. And then there's times when we can come together if that's what we want to do. Right. And especially going through this pandemic and not having to be at home alone or, just with my partner, and getting at least a couple more people that I can talk to on a daily basis for me helps me, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then actually, I mean, right before all of this started, sorry, my cat is doing something really weird. Sorry, right before all this started, actually, my solo project with music, I released a split with one of my friends, Chris, mm-hmm. and we went on a tour literally right before all of this happened, and I mean,
that's with H, right?
What was that?
Chris H or a different person?
No, Chris B. His name's Chris Brown, actually. I love that. And we went to, so I played a show here. We had our first house show in this house, which was really nice. And then we played in Grand Rapids, and then we just went to Chicago, hung out with my friend Michaela for the day. Then we played in Indiana. Then I went to Columbus, saw my friend Crystal. Then we played in Pennsylvania. Then went to New Jersey, and then New York City, which was awesome. Awesome. And we were actually in New York City when the state of emergency was called for New York for the pandemic. It was a strange feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of felt like I shouldn't be there. And we were kind of walking around Times Square, and it really wasn't busy. It was kind of weird because I thought it'd be packed, and it was a Saturday too. So I thought that, and it was a nice day out. I don't know. It was really, really, really weird. So that was really strange. And then we drove 12 hours home the next day. Wow. So that was a struggle. And then just from that, finished up a semester, and that went pretty good. I'm in my summer semester now with school. I'm still working through all of this. It's been kind of challenging, I guess, at times. I don't know. It's been a really weird experience with kind of going through all these changes recently, and trying to navigate them and still kind of hold my life together in a structured way, which school and work do kind of help with that. Yeah. And then really the last thing that I want to touch on is just, I started up a little collective, and I know me and you talked about this last week when we spoke, just to help out artists and hopefully help promote artists or help artists get in touch with one another. And really it's all based around this monthly zine that I'm creating and sending out, different promotions and website things that I'm doing. And I don't know, it's nice to just fill my time with something that I'm able to use to actually help other people, because I feel like that's what I like to do. I like to just, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm a giver, but I like to help people, and I find meaning in helping others a lot of the time. And so that's just kind of a way for me to do that in this weird time that we're in. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I've been, what I've been doing.
What you've been doing.
Yeah. So
yeah, I wanted to make sure a part of the reason we stopped doing this podcast, I wanted to make sure that school is your number one priority. as like somebody that like didn't finish school, like seeing my friends like go through it and like do that, that's like, I mean, it's important to me. Like, I know it's important to you. You're the one going through it, but like, you know, I'm really proud that you're like finishing and doing it and going through it. So I was like, you know, sometimes like people will ask like, you know, well, can he fit it in this week? Like, can you guys start? I'm like, no, like Charlie has to study, Charlie has his exam, like no, like school's gonna be first and we're gonna get our stuff together and then we'll bounce back to it. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I've actually had a couple, I don't know if I'd say a couple friendships, but I've had some people in my life that really don't understand that. So I appreciate that you get that. And not even just that school's important, because I can, the thing is I can make time for other things. It's just harder for me to do that now.
Yeah.
Like my professor, or one of my advisors, actually, I talked to her last night. And we had somebody else with us while we were talking on our conference or whatever. And she was joking about how hard her class is, and not because she's doing it to be evil, but because there needs to be a standard. And she said, I make sure every graduate student gets that in the beginning. And I think that she's right. I think it's important to have that. And I feel like that's the reason I was especially so busy the first semester, is they want you to understand that this is not a joke. Like, this is not, like, you're either going to want it or you're not going to want it. And that was kind of hard for me, because I was always kind of the kind of student who maybe didn't have to study as much and just kind of relied on, I don't know, I relied on my memory to just be there.
Hey, kids like you.
What was that?
I said, hey, kids like you.
I don't know. It just always kind of like worked for me. But now it's like my exams are not like multiple choice. They're literally all like essay. And like, I would go into this 2-hour exam and write like 12 pages front and back for an exam. And like, I can't just like fake it anymore. And like, not that I was faking it, but I just wasn't trying. So I appreciate you giving me the time, and I felt like I needed it. But I'm glad I'm at a place now, especially during the summer semester, where it's just a little more lax and a little more, I don't know. I feel like I can kind of breathe and like experience things again and that kind of thing. So I don't know.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. What have you been up to?
I feel like it's like everything and nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So since I can barely remember what I ate yesterday. So like, I don't know what I was doing in August. But I'm sure I was just working, you know, living life. I went out to Texas a couple times, you know, got a little boo thing out there. So I went to go see him. And I love going to Texas, first of all. I love the food.
Hey, it seems fun.
Yes, it's fun. It's fun. It's super hot. People are friendlier there. Like, I don't know. I just love it. So definitely like moving there would be beautiful. But anyways, yeah, I think the holidays were pretty crazy for me too. You know, I work for like a super like major online retailer. So I guess that's how you would word it. So working 11-hour shifts, you know, 5 days a week. It was a lot. You know, I think the last week right before Christmas, we did 12 hours. Was it 12 hours 5 days or 12 hours 6 days? It was a lot of days. And I normally work only 4 days a week. So it was a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot because it's like 12 hours is half your day. Like, you know, it was a point in time where I was doing that on a consistent basis, like 12 hours. And like, if you think about it, that's half your day. By the time you go to sleep and then you wake up again, it's time to go right back to work. Like, you know, so it's a lot of pressure, you know, working in retail. And I know for people that listen that work in retail that they know, like, you have to put on this, I don't have to put on a happy face anymore, but like, it still kind of makes me miserable. Like, it's a lot, you know, but yeah, so I did that for the holidays. I did get to spend, you know, Christmas with my family, so that was super cool. I don't think I did anything on New Year's. I don't think I did anything. I'm trying to think what I did. I think out for Valentine's Day, went back to Texas, of course. And then pretty much after that, the pandemic came. Oh, I did also, let me backtrack a little bit. I think it was February-ish, maybe March. I got placed on medical leave because of my shoulder, because of me working so much, because of my shoulder. So I definitely got put on medical leave. I'm still on medical leave. from that. So I've just been kind of shooting the breeze, honestly. Uh, like I've been trying to like really take a look at like my goals outside of like my job and like things that I really want to do like for real because I don't want to stay where I'm at, you know. I literally my body's telling me that I can't. So I can't do that. So yeah, I think I've been really chill. I haven't really been doing too much of anything. I was thinking earlier, like, what am I gonna say? Because I feel like I've been doing nothing. But I have been doing things. Like I am working on, a couple of projects. Like I'm thinking about possibly starting a business.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I want to, look
exciting.
more into that. I know it's scary because like I don't know, people are always like, they want you to go right and then you want to go left and, things like that. But I'm like, it's just something to try. I'm going to give it my all and just, do what I do.
Right. It doesn't have to be forever if you don't want it to be.
Yeah. And it's not the main goal, just like another stream of income,
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it with me. Just been chilling.
Something else we both experienced while in quarantine was birthdays. You recently had a birthday.
Oh, yes, I did.
Birthday?
I am 29 and I experienced a quarantine birthday and it was okay actually. It wasn't terrible. Like I was sad because of course I wanted to be in Texas. That's where I was like, I'm really gonna go. Like and even it came to the point where because now you can travel back and forth. We've always been able to travel, but like now I don't know, we can do it, but because the person that I was going to be staying with is asthmatic, I just didn't want to take that extra risk. I'm like, even if I just come down and I'm fine or whatever, just the fact that I can't put anything on him, I'd be feeling terrible. But I decided to stay home. I went over to my mom's and my sisters. We've kind of been quarantining together-ish because we're not supposed to be, but we have been. I'm not even gonna hold you up. Like I've been seeing people. I'm not gonna hold you up, guys. Sorry. But yeah, I made my mom make me hibachi. So we did hibachi at home, which it turned into me making it. So I cooked for everyone on my birthday. But they did give me, they got me a cake and my aunt came over, my cousin came over. They got me some great gifts, tons of skincare stuff. Everybody knows I love skincare. So yeah, it was pretty cool though.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I made the best of it, I feel like, so.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, and yours was super cute. I've seen a little couple Snapchats, I think. Did I not?
Who sent you Snapchats? It wasn't
your birthday?
Uh-oh.
It wasn't.
I feel like what you might be talking about actually was Nick's graduation party. Nick's graduation party. Yeah.
My bad.
No, it's okay. Time literally is blurred right now. Like I feel like time is not like it used to be. Yeah. So Nick, I threw Nick a graduation party because he just graduated with his bachelor's, and
Good for him.
It was actually funny. I mean, I honestly say this like not bitterness, they're like whatever, but like I decorated the house, I made a cake, like got him a card, made this like sweet little video that like I had like his friends and his family like send in little like congratulations, we're proud of you, and like compiled.
That's sweet.
I thought it was super sweet, and then obviously this is a surprise, he didn't know. And he went to work and I was like waiting for him to come home, and then he didn't come home, and I'm like waiting, and he didn't come home, and then like he texted me that he had like stopped over to his friend's house or whatever, and then he was there till like 10:30 at night, and then so like it wasn't a big deal. I got drunk with my roommates Ethiel and Jess, and it was fun. Either way, it was a fun grad party. Just the graduate was not really, but it was fun. And then my birthday itself was less fun. I didn't do anything. I mean,
you didn't?
No, I got a smoothie. That was something that I did do, which I mean, it was good. But I think I took a nap. I can't really remember. It's been almost a couple months, but yeah, probably the most uneventful birthday I've had. But given the circumstances,
birthdays be lit.
What was that?
Your birthdays be lit.
Usually, I feel like they're pretty fun, and I like to have like a little party and that kind of thing. But I don't know, it wasn't up there. Maybe next year, maybe next when I turn 28, it'll be a party or something.
I thought you're gonna be 28 soon. Oh my god! But okay,
wait, how old were we when we met? We were.
You had to be 23-ish?
No, it could have. I think I was 21. Because you started at the job, I think 2014, right? Yeah, because I started in 2013. I think you started the year after me.
Yeah, it was younger than that. Mm-hmm. So if you're 21, I had 23? To be 23.
Mm-hmm. We're getting old.
Yeah, I'm 29. I was just actually talking to one of my cousins about this. She who wrote me on Facebook like, I'm going to be 30 in 7 months. I'm like, a part of me died when I was 29, when I turned 29. So I understand, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, so it's a little scary. I don't know, to me.
What's scary about it?
Actually, one of my other cousins, hi Kelly. She had said she was on the phone with me, and Kelly's very straightforward, so she'll just say straightforward things. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, yeah, 29 to 30, it's a really hard time, like, especially if you don't have like your goals together and you don't have your life together, and and I was like, what? Like, why would she say this to me? And she was like, but you have to think about it. She was like, if you're 90, it's only a third of your life that you've lived. You have so much time to do everything. Society tells us, that we have to do it by 30 and be, millionaires or whatever, but we don't have to do that. Like, you do it at your own time. And I was like, okay, that wrapped it up. Thank you, Kelly.
You have so much time.
Yeah.
So much time left.
You do. And you have time to grow and try different things and just do what you want to do. So.
See, and I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure other people share this perspective, and I don't know how popular it is, but I feel like your 20s are really just about figuring it out. Mm-hmm. And 30s are about like growing from there. Like I feel like 20s kind of laying the foundation or just kind of figuring out what that foundation even looks like. And then 30s about making it happen. So,
yeah.
And I mean, not that that's a one size fits all, and not everyone does that, but I feel like that's kind of the consensus or the general way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, at this time in my life, as long as things make me happy and I'm doing things that I feel like are productive towards my life, then that's good. Like, big girl things that I want to work on, like my credit, things like that. I want to eventually, like I said, I eventually want to move possibly out of state. So, I got to make sure things are in order. So,
yeah, you've got time.
Yep, got plenty of time. So, I'm excited about that, I guess.
I'm excited for you. You got a lot going on. I'm really, really excited.
Do I? I don't feel like I do.
I feel like you do with the projects that you're working on.
Yeah.
And the things that you're starting up. I think that is huge. I think that is, I don't know. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit or enough like credit for the effort that you're putting in and will be putting into this. And I don't know. I think that it's bigger than you might think.
Yeah, like I actually was talking to my therapist about that, and she was like, oops, sorry if you guys heard that. That's my computer. But yeah, I was talking to my therapist about that, and she was like, I don't think you lack motivation. That's not the right term. Yeah. She's like, you might have to work on like consistency. She was like, you come to therapy. She was like, that's motivating, like, So I was like, okay, you got to look at. I am hard on myself, so you definitely got to like look at the bigger things.
Mm-hmm. Not to get too personal or too like specific, but like, how is therapy going?
Therapy's going good. Mm-hmm. I have a new therapist. I think we talked about it on our podcast when we had the same therapist.
Yeah, I missed that.
And missed that. Yes,
wait, definitely. What about how we think we found her TikTok? Was that her or was that not her?
That was definitely her on TikTok.
Like I was just scrolling and she came up. I'm like, I think that's my old therapist.
And before I realized who she was, I added her as like a friend or a follower, however you do TikTok. And I was so scared I never checked to see if she ever actually added me back or not. I was so scared. Like, she probably blocked me or something.
I don't know. I feel like she was kind of chill with us.
Yeah, she was. She said we were her favorites, even though, she didn't want to admit it directly. She did technically say that.
I love
So.
that.
But yeah, I think therapy is going pretty good. It's a different perspective for me, because like my last therapist wasn't Black, and this therapist is Black. She's a Black woman. Mm-hmm. So I sometimes feel like, I don't have a safe space as a Black woman to talk about the things that I want to talk about. Like, I seen my favorite, one of my favorite YouTubers, she was talking about how she was going to a white therapist, and she's like, I found myself lying to this lady. Mm-hmm. Like, because I'm this Black woman and I don't want her to stereotype me and think like, oh, okay, this is what all Black people do. She's like, so I started, oh yeah, everything's great. Yeah. My son can speak 3 languages, even though he's 1. Like, she was like, I had to leave. She was like, just because I honestly really didn't feel safe. And it's not that I didn't feel safe with my other therapist, but I just don't know how relatable, like how much she understood, mm-hmm. like my perceptions on life and the things that I go through, racism, feminism, all of those types of things. So like, and I found myself kind of like I did find myself watching kind of a little bit what I said with my last therapist. Mm-hmm. But like with this one, if, I want to say something, I don't feel that crazy about it, or that like, oh, that's too inappropriate. It's like, your therapist you should be comfortable with, 100%.
Yeah. And that's awesome that you have somebody that, may share similar experiences with you, or that you just even feel comfortable enough sharing that stuff with. And I think that's great. And that's something, I mean, as someone who's going to become a therapist, and I'm literally being trained. Like, I had last semester, I had like a therapy class where we did therapy with our classmates, and we kind of learned about those issues, like either cultural issues or like, if a client has a different background from you, like how do you make them feel comfortable? And I think I really put that on the therapist. You either have to build that connection and create that space where they feel safe enough and comfortable enough. And I get some things, like as a white, not straight male, like I don't, there are some things that I will never have lived through that you have lived through, or other, different clients that have lived through, but that doesn't mean that I can't help them in a way. And obviously if the client prefers somebody that, has similar backgrounds, that's important that they see that kind of person. But I think the client the therapist has a responsibility to make that space and create that environment where that dialogue can happen. And I don't know, I think that a lot of therapists lack that. And I've been trying to focus and study and read up on how to make sure that doesn't happen to me. And I don't know, it's kind of a bummer that people experience that. And I'm sure a lot of people experience that in therapy, where you're supposed to go and, I don't know, feel better and talk through things, and to not be able to be 100% authentic is really, I don't know, kind of disheartening.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, and like I said, it's not like I didn't like my last therapist. I just found myself like watching myself a little bit more. But this therapist, she's younger than me. She's 26, so she's my age kind of ish,
right. That helps
and
too.
She went to Wayne State, so she wanted me to talk to you about that. I'll talk after. So she went to Wayne State for her graduate, so she's pretty and she's lived in Michigan all her life. She knows our environment and things we go through, so I feel like we kind of shoot the shit too much. We just be talking.
That's okay, but
it's okay, but I'm like, we gotta work on this. But it's like, sometimes life can be so much. You just gotta talk,
Sometimes it's nice just to talk, because I feel like sometimes things come out that way,
Yeah, that's very true. I find that a lot with her. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we talked about this. And she's like, at the end, she'll kind of like recap things. Mm-hmm. And she writes notes. I mean, I'm sure my last therapist did, but she writes notes and she remembers specific things. And I'll be like, oh, okay. So yeah, therapy's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I've been meaning, I don't know. I did see someone in the fall. It was like telehealth, so it was like over the computer, which is funny because that's all I would do. Are you doing telehealth with your?
No, me and my therapist are still seeing each other in person.
Oh.
She gave the option to do telehealth, but like the way the office was set up, the clerical side was saying like, oh, we don't know what your copay is going to be until after it's billed. So I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because I'm not about to pay a $500 bill for some poor reception on the phone. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So I did take the risk to go inside. They're doing their best to practice social distancing as much as you can in a therapy office.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's multiple offices, so they only have they have two sides how they part. So they have one therapist on one side and one therapist on the other side for the whole day. And then that therapist, of course, is supposed to make sure that they're cleaning and, doing all that type of stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to limit, as much as they can.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, I was seeing a therapist online, and I feel like part of it was because like I would literally like the only time she was available was like right when I got out of class. So I was literally doing it in my car, and it was like it was just kind of weird. I don't know. So I stopped going to that because
that's a lot.
It just wasn't. I don't know. She was super nice, but I don't know. I feel like if I go back to therapy, I don't know what I need. I need someone to. Like it was more like counseling, I guess. Like it was, and not that there's that much of a difference, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like we were like tackling issues. We were tackling symptoms, and I don't feel like that's effective for me. Like I don't need you to fix the symptoms because I can like meditate on it. I can, I've gotten to the point where I can like try to reframe my own thoughts, and I'm literally in school for therapy, so like I need like somebody to like break down those barriers because I don't know. I put those walls up, I guess, and pretty reluctant to share some things, I guess.
That's true. Okay, I see what you're saying. Not that's true that you're just like a super
I can be
person. Yeah.
But,
well, that's good. Of course, whenever you're ready to try it, just go again. Like that's all you can do. Maybe if you need to find another therapist or the same one, just whatever.
I'm just still scarred from our last therapist and quitting. Like not her quitting, but that was painful. Actually, that was painful.
Yeah, I cried for a while. Actually,
I sobbed. I got off that phone and sobbed.
Like, and you didn't even go to your last appointment because you had canceled it. Yeah. I went to my last appointment and I was in tears the whole time. Yeah. Like, didn't even know what really to say. Like, what can you say on your last therapy session? And this is the person that you've been like therapying with for like, I did it for 2 years with her, I think.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
Yeah, and she had helped me, go get through my really, really, really bad breakup and like find myself again. And, she encouraged me to, do things. It was a lot. So I've seen her every week. I know you've seen her like every other week.
Yeah.
So it's like, it came up a part of my routine. And I was like, well, damn, am I too dependent on her? Because I was sick.
Yeah.
I was sick when she had to move on. I was like, what? And I was so mad. Like, I didn't even want to get a therapist. And I feel like I kind of gave my new therapist a hard time in the beginning because of it. I'm very sorry if you ever hear this. But yeah, I feel like I kind of gave her a hard time in the beginning and I wasn't like putting the effort in kind of. And I'm like, look, you just gotta get through it, actually, if you want another therapist. But yeah, I definitely worry about that. Like she did, my therapist now told me like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. It's like, even if I go to a different place, you're coming with me. I'm like, okay.
She sounds nice.
Yeah, she's super nice. So, yeah, that was very traumatizing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still like, I don't know. I feel like I had just such a good, like we clicked, like me and the last therapist. And like, especially like when I look to the previous therapists I've had, I think I had 1, 2, 3 before her, and they were just not good, like not good at all. Like I think I talked about this before, but like would give me like one gave me a diagnosis and said that was the one they would choose anyway, so I should be like happy about it. And I was like, this isn't even like me. This isn't even like what you just gave me does not seem to fit who I am.
Right.
It was so strange. It was a weird experience, and so I feel like I hold on to that, and I'm reluctant to like put in the effort to
I feel like it's going to make it hard when you do try to find a therapist, like a solid therapist, because you're kind of going to be comparing it to.
Yeah. And I need to not do that because that's not helpful and it's not ever going to happen. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and just because it's not going to be her, like, that doesn't mean that it's still not going to be a great experience, you know?
Exactly, yeah. It's like comparing like friends or like previous relationships and that kind of thing. It's not.
Yeah, it's not the same, but that doesn't mean that it's bad, you know? Just different. So I feel like I've kind of gotten over that barrier. This therapist I've been seeing for a while now. I don't know if it's been a year, but I should be close soon.
Yeah.
So I like it though.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
As long as it's working for you, that's what matters.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a confession too. I want to say that. A small, slight confession. Another reason why I haven't been over Charlie's house as much, you guys. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh my God, I already know.
I am afraid of cats. I am petrified of cats. And so when I found out that he was moving in and this, one of his roommates had a cat, I was like, okay. I was thinking she was going to be like Sam. Me and Sam have a mutual understanding. You don't see me, I don't see you. And we will stay in our own separate places. I think his name is Louie.
Yep.
Louie is not that type of cat, okay?
He is not.
He's friendly. He wants to see who you are and what you're up to. And I don't have that type of patience for a cat, and I have been petrified to come over, so I had to put that out there.
I will have to lock him in Jess's room when.
And I'm sure he's sweet. I don't know what's wrong with me.
He is super sweet. Him and Sam don't get along, but he's sweet, and I don't know. I can put him in the room when you come over. That's okay.
I just had to put that out there. I'm like, I don't know if Charlie has noticed this.
Yeah,
but
one time you came over and he was just standing on the stairs.
He was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh my God. Like, I think I've seen Sam once, and it was because she was in your arms, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
she runs whenever she hears people's voices. She's pretty shy.
Yeah. But yeah,
funny. I appreciate the confession.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I also wanted to thank you because I had a high epiphany. I don't know if that's a thing, but like I was just thinking about it, and like when you asked me to do this podcast, like last year or whenever we decided to do it, it was, I don't know. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, you have a lot of friends. You have a lot of friends that you can pick with, and people that go to school, people are all this. So I was like, wow, like I've never thought of like running a podcast or being a co-host to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that I wasn't like smart enough or didn't have the intellect. I did. And I just wanted to kind of say like, thank you, because like, I don't know, you've seen something in me that like I never really seen in myself. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. And I appreciate you doing this. And like, I don't want you to like have to thank me, I guess. Like I appreciate that, but like because I feel like by you feeling like, I'm gonna try to say this, I feel like it's like messy to say, but like I feel like by you saying like I chose you, I don't feel like I chose you. Like I feel like this is something we decided to do together, and like like I don't want you to think that like you're lucky or that I don't know. I don't want like you know what I'm saying? I don't want there to be a power dynamic. Like I feel like we did this together, and like you are very smart and you're intelligent, and I love your opinions and I love your perspectives, and I think you're one of the funniest people I've ever met, and I don't know, I just appreciate you as a person. So I don't know, I'm glad we do this together, and it's happened.
Me too.
I don't know. Yeah, appreciate that. That was very sweet.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're very sweet all the time. So
you're sweet all the time.
Thanks. Did you have like any other questions or any points you wanted to get out?
No, I think it was nice to just like to really catch up, because even when we talked last week, we kind of caught up, but we didn't really like. I know we kind of said like, let's not talk too much about like, let's just talk about the podcast, and like, so we didn't. So when we did this, it wouldn't be like kind of regurgitated and stale and that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's nice to see
many things. Yeah,
where you've been. And I actually listened to the last podcast we did last night because I was confused why these things weren't on Spotify and Apple Music. So I was just kind of listening while I was doing other stuff. And I don't know, it was just kind of like made me happy and made me miss it even more. I don't know. I'm glad we can kind of spend this time and get this going again.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And to whoever's listening, I hope you guys, we're going to be back. We're going to be working on it.
We have a plan. We have plans. We have, like, I feel like we're more prepared this time. And I was actually, it's funny because before you joined this call, I was kind of on the site with all the other podcasts, and it said like you can put things into different seasons. And I feel like this is kind of like a different season. It's kind of like a different, like we kind of went through the first round and like learned some things, and we experienced so much, and we're kind of renewed in a sense. And I don't know.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels like concrete. It feels like for sure this time. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels nice.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing this for a while, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know, and about the future things we're going to talk about. I am so.
I know you're so excited about this.
I am. Like some of the topics we have, I've literally like, I've just been doing nothing but thinking about them.
Mm-hmm. I also have a I guess I'll talk to you more about it after, but I also have a podcast that I want you to listen to. My cousin actually does a podcast.
Yes, we'll recommend them because I have a few too for you.
Yes. Okay.
And we'll have some guests coming on soon.
Yes. I'm so excited. We're going to have some guests. Family members on my side will be here.
One of my family members at one point.
Yes, I'm excited about that. Michelle's excited about that too. She actually wanted your mom to come on. And I was like, Charlie said his mom will never come on. So
I mean, I could ask her. I don't know what she'd say. Me and Nick actually talked about this. I don't know what she'd say.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be like, I love my boys. And like, that would be it. Like, that would be, I don't know. Maybe one day. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see what she feels.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just going to ask it. Do you have a quote or anything for this episode?
Oh my God, I don't have a quote. I feel like the quote that I want to give you guys, I've already said it in my last quote because it's one of my favorite quotes ever.
Okay, and I want to hear it.
It's people that are so dreamy minded are no earthly good. That's my favorite quote ever.
Ooh.
It has I'm not sure who it's by because like I can't find that. I've been trying to figure it out. But it reminds me so much of myself because like I feel like I'm such a dreamer. And like I dream so much and I have so many different ideas, but you just have to remember like your ideas are great and you just have to make sure they're thought out and put the action behind it. So
I feel like that's that Gemini energy.
It's so indecisive and you want to do a million things at once and then you just get overloaded. But yeah, just really honing in on that and yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. And I will definitely work on quotes. I forgot that I did quotes kind of until you just said that.
I was driving home today and I was like, I wonder if Ashley's going to pick a quote. And then I meant to say it and then we started recording and here we are.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Quotes will be coming. Don't worry. We'll have
always, even in this weird quarantine time, Chili's sponsor us.
Yeah,
Ashley's got a homemade margarita today.
I do.
But it
kind of tasted like it.
Did it?
Kind of. I threw that watermelon juice in there. I think that's what set it off.
We'll have to get chili soon. Hopefully they sponsor us and we get free chilies or I don't know, just I get something. Even a shirt or something. I don't care.
I'd be happy.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone for listening.
Guys.
We are back again. And
yes, we're back and we're better and we're going to be great.
Yes. So thank you for listening.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.